Morning, everyone. It's Alison Sullivan with Stamp Crazy with Alison. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in New Westminster, which is a suburb of Vancouver on the west coast of Canada. So welcome. I've got an itch. Allergies. I'm just going to make sure that I'm broadcasting live because sometimes Facebook doesn't like me. Okay, so it looks like I'm on the right channel. So that's a good thing. And hello, Keisha. Can you hear me okay, huh? This morning? Hope so. You usually tell me if you can't. All good. Excellent. Well, I hope you guys are doing well. Oh, I've got an itch. What does that mean, Keisha? My mom was a superstitious a person from Scotland, and everything meant something, and I'm sure an itchy nose means something. I hope it's something good. Oh my gosh! 2 minutes before I'm going on live, my phone decides it's not going to cooperate. So I do what the IT guys say on that show, the IT crowd. Have you tried turning it on and off again? So I did that and it works. So glad to see you here. What's it like out? I haven't even looked. It's not great here. Probably not great where you are either, but can't let that deter us from going outside, can we? Not in Vancouver. Well, Keisha, it's you and me, girl, and hopefully some other people will pop on. I just did a 15-minute warning today, pouring in. We're in for it for a bit. Anyway, all good. We are going to use a set I haven't used before. Rainy where you are, Natasha. Oh yeah, you're in our little neighborhood, aren't you? Hi, good morning. I'm so glad you came, Natasha. Nice to see you. I'm going to use a stamp set I've never used. Let me show you. Let me make it let's see here. Let's see side by side. Look at this. Rays of light. Because I felt like on a gloomy day we should have some sunshine and some light. So that's what I'm going with. You're going with a swap for the event here. Oh, yeah. I forgot there's an event in Nanaimo. It's coming up on Friday. How fun. Oh, how fun. Hi, Connie from North Carolina. Nice to see you this morning. Thanks, you guys, for coming. Well, you're all popping on. You're all early or on time, so might as well get started, right? So let's go over and talk about what we're going to do today. So I'm going to move some stuff away so I can get in here. My phone has been acting really weird. Hi, Mo. How are you? Okay, so we got Rays of Light. Haven't used it, loved it. Okay, so then I thought, well, there's so many things you could use this for, right? Obviously it reminds us of a sun, but you could certainly turn it in and be more like a psychedelic. You could do different colors. I thought that would be pretty. But today I'm just going to use a bundle that's carrying forward to the new catalog, Sending Smiles. I love this. Love these daisies. And it's also got the stamps and dies. Okay, so if you order those before May 1st, you can get the bundle price. If you wait, then you're going to pay the individual price, like the stamps and dies separately. Okay, I'm just looking for some other cards that I've got made with this set while we're doing this. So here's some cards that I have in my little stash. Look at this one. Isn't that pretty? So that one was taking this little daisy and turning it this way, right? And making it into a little, I guess they're like black-eyed Susans, really, or daisies, I guess. But don't you love the way you can use the words with the coordinating die as a little base? I love that. Okay, pretty card. I got that in a swap. And everything on this card is carrying forward, including that timeless type embossing folder, which I love. If you don't have that, you need to get that. And then got this one here. Now this one is not carrying forward. This is the 3D, I think it's 3D seashore, whatever, embossing folder. Grab that. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? And so this one is just made by combining two colors. I love those together. That would be the oh, what's it called? The one that's oh my gosh, my brain today. I got to tell you, there's a lot going on around here today, including my phone wouldn't work this morning. So that was not helpful. What is that color? It's the new, it's not new, but it's the in color. Oh my gosh. Guys, help me out. What's the in color? Come on. Everybody help me out. What's the in color that's blue? Love it. Hi, you, Sarah. How are you in Saskatoon? Let's look it up. Oh my gosh, my brain today. Tahitian Tide. So that's Tahitian Tide. And then this one here is the Parakeet. Is that cute? Anyway, so wasn't prepared. Sorry, guys. Moving on. Okay. So we have got those samples, which are really pretty. And I did do another card online at one of my lives quite a while ago using it. Anyway, that's what we're going to use today. I think we should just get started and I should stop talking. Okay? Yeah. All right. So I started my card with just a basic white, and it is cut to 8.5 by 5.5. And I've scored it at 4 1/4, and then we've made our card. Hi, Valerie. How are you? Thanks for coming today, guys. So I'm just going to give that a little crease. And then I cut a piece of basic white. That's what I'm going to stamp on. So this one is cut 3 3/4 by 5. And then I have got a layer. Now this layer is just 1/8 of an inch bigger. I just wanted it to have a little bit of definition between the card front and the stamped piece. So this one would just be 1/8 of an inch bigger. So what's that? 3 7/8 by 5 1/8? Yeah, I think so. Okay, I've got some other pieces cut, but we'll go over those when we get to it. So let's start by inking and stamping up Rays of Light. So here is my stamp. Now you can use the very largest block, right? But honestly, for this, I'm just going to use it like this, the red rubber. I'm not going to worry too much about it. And I got Daffodil Delight, which is it's a color that's staying. Yay! Hopefully you've been getting my emails or my newsletters. I guess I could have put this in a block and it might not have moved as much, but I'm not too worried about it. It's fine. So I want to just ink it up. So I'm taking my ink to my rubber. Okay. Oh, look at it hopping around. Kind of lazy. I could get the acrylic block, but that block is so big. Let me grab it and show you. It's gigantic. It is. This is what you need for those background stamps. And yeah, it fits. And I guess it wouldn't move around as much. But if you don't want to invest in the price of the see, the acrylic block, it's still like that. I guess you have to put the label on. I wouldn't bother. It's good just the way it is. Then we're going to grab our piece of basic white, and I want to make sure I get that in because it's sort of my focal point. I'm just going to see which way I have it here. I guess it doesn't really matter. I can turn my paper, but I want to make sure I get that, as much of that sun area as I can. And you can just use a piece of paper, and I'm going to grab a piece here. Just use a piece of paper, lay it on top, give it a rub, and that will transfer that ink. I find that's the easiest way and the best way to get the best coverage. Okay. Of course, you could also use your Stamparatus if you were lucky enough to own one before it got retired, or if you were lucky enough to be able to buy one. Okay, so there we go. So that's our little burst of color. All right. So next up, I want to take some scraps here. I'm just going to glue this down. Let's go ahead and glue this down. Okay. Glue it to our daffodil. Okay, there we go. And I'm not going to glue that down yet because I'm just going to play around a bit with that. All right, so other pieces that I have, what have I got here? I've got just some scrap white, basic white, and I'm going to die cut and punch out some clouds. So I've got the cloud punch. Have you guys seen this punch? We've had this punch for a while. Hi, Ellie, how are ya? Good morning. So let's punch out a cloud. And then originally I had punched out a few clouds, but I found that they were too big and I didn't want to use all big clouds. And then I was trying to cut it. And so here's what I did instead. I went to the Playing in the Rain dies because one of the dies is a set of 3 clouds. So that's what we're going to use. So grab my, make myself a little space here. Grab my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, my little mini. Whoop, go. And then I've got my plate number 3, my plate number 2, my basic white, my clouds. Something on my little cloud there. Okay. And my plate number 2 is going on top, and I'm just going to go through. I find that this layer, so Natasha, if you're watching, Natasha was having a problem with her little mini. Did you see that, Natasha? Either I can have them lined up exactly, or this one was just a little bit off and it still grabbed it. So if that's not happening for you, then there's something wrong with your machine, and Stampin' Up! Will take care of you, okay? Nothing worse when you try everything to get something to work and it just won't, because sometimes it won't work, right? So I'm going to grab now just a piece of the Daffodil Delight. And I've grabbed the 1 3/4 inch circle punch. I'm going to punch that out. And we're going to create a little scene here. So you should see this, like the way my light is it's just like a light radiating. I love it. So that's going to be our sun. And then we're going to have some clouds, because it's okay to have a little clouds. And I'm going to have that one. And I think I'm going to use maybe this one. So that's kind of the look I'm going for. All right. So let's glue some of these down. Okay. Start with my big cloud punch. I'll just have that there. And then I am going to glue my sun flat. I did contemplate popping it up, but I'm not going to. But I am going to pop up these 2 guys. And I might have to move them once I put my words down, but I'll worry about that when I get to that part of the card. So I'm going to just sort of set that up like that. And this guy, we're going to pop up. Let's put one little pop. I'm not pressing this down really hard either, because I might want to move them. Okay, so I'm just kind of putting them sort of in the area. Okay, so that's what I've got so far. Got a nice sunny day with a few clouds. Sunny with a few clouds. All right. Next up, I'm going to take a piece of basic black and our adhesive sheets. These are fantastic. These are ones that we used to sell, and that's why it still says Sizzix on them. But the ones that we have now that are the exact same product, they just don't say Sizzix. But what you do is, this is 6 by 12 and cut down just to the size that I'm going to need for my, I'm going to peel off the protective layer. This is the part where your little fingers get stuck. And then I'm going to just lay that down like so. Okay. So now what I've done is I put adhesive all over the back of a black piece of cardstock. And the reason I'm doing this is because when I peel off these words, let me show you where on this card, I'll show you. See these words, the sending? I could just go with my glue and go, da, 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 right? But I don't want to. I want to have an easier way of applying the glue to the whole word. Okay, so we got that. And then I'm going to need another piece of white. for my outline. Okay, so I'm going to grab both of these dies. So here we go. So that's the sending, and then you'll see that I can do this in a different color, and it'll layer on there. Okay, so I'm going to need some white. Since I didn't pull out my white. Boy, welcome to my little nightmare this morning. Okay, I think that should be big enough. Yep. Scraps. There we go. Rid of your scraps. You can always use scraps. I hope that works. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's perfect. And again, we can use the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss for this. It'll work just fine. Let's stick that on. Now, sometimes what you want, if you want, and you want to like really have a really good pop-up for this, you could actually use our foam adhesive sheets. So remember when I put the adhesive on the back of the black? We actually have these large foam sheets. I'm not going to do it, but I want to show you in case you ever want that option. Here we are. Oops, I'm trying to grab them. I guess I used, oh, here they are. Okay. So we have these sheets, and the whole thing is like a huge dimensional. Okay. So if I wanted to really pop this whole thing up, I could actually glue this down and then run it through, and then I'd have that embossing, sorry, not the embossing, I'd have the foam through the entire piece. But I don't think we need it for this card. I think it's pretty easy to just add some pop-ups or dimensionals. Okay, so let's run that through. So I'm going to go white on the background. And we'll just pop that out. You can see you just end up with this nice background for the words. Whoops, background for the words. Okay. And then we'll grab our black with the adhesive on the back and the word sending. And we'll just run that through. Okay. Grab. See how that grabbed, Natasha? I didn't even have them lined up. I had the bottom and the next plate, but this one's way off and it still just grabbed it. So if that is not working for you, there's something wrong. Okay, let's set that aside. Okay, and then we're going to carefully remove this and pop this out. Take your time, pop it out until you get this word out. There we go. Then I'm going to grab my take a pick tool, and I'm just going to pop this out. Now, because we've got glue on everything, including the bits that I'm getting rid of, you might just have to take your time. Don't rush. Just take your time and pop these out. We're not in a hurry, especially on a Sunday morning, right? Pop this out. Pop this out. Okay. All right, so that's the easy bit. Now, sometimes getting the back off of this is challenging. But let's say you didn't use adhesive sheets, okay? Then you would just take your glue and, okay? But because we've used this, we can, oh, look at that, it's starting to peel. Oh, it's going to make it easy for me, you guys. So we're just going to peel off carefully, because it is a very delicate little die in terms of it's thin, right? Boop. And look at that. So we've got glue on the entire thing. Can you see how sticky? It's not overly, like, it's not like, oh my gosh, it's so sticky I can't use it. Make sure I'm in the, yeah, I'm in the, you can see what I'm doing. And then I just gently fit this into the space of the piece underneath. So I just do it like this. I do one kind of letter at a time, making sure I'm lining it up. And we've got that. And then we've got that. Bent, so you can just play and bend it so that it fits in, right? Pretty straightforward. Oops, I want to move that down just a titch so you can sort of see how this works. Just play with it. There we go. There we go. Look at that. Is that great? Now, the thing I like using the adhesive sheets for is because you never lose the eye. So you can just pop that eye out. Now, these, I say that, and then it's like, yeah, how do we get this on here? It's sometimes not easy, and I might have already lost it. But here's what I do if I lose it. Oh, yeah, I did lose it. Oh, there it is. Of course, I'm laughing because it's like I lost my eye, but actually I don't. I have lost my eye, but my eyesight isn't great. There's our little dot at the top of the eye. Okay, so that's our words. Yay. Here's our card. Don't lose the dot for the eye. Yes, thanks, Valerie. Yeah, we almost did. That was like, whew. Okay, so on the back of this, we can add our dimensionals. Remember I was saying if you put that whole dimensional sheet on here, then this step is already taken care of. But, you know, sometimes you don't want to use a whole sheet. It's for little words. So I'm using my mini dimensionals. We do sell these, just like our large ones. Now, these little guys might have been from my paper pumpkin kit because it seems like the sheet is smaller. And then for that little guy there, I'm just going to go back to my big sheet and I'm just going to cut off the edge because we use every bit of our dimensionals, don't we? You bet. I'll just put that there. It's a bit long, so I can just go toop, toop. Okay, I think that's good. Maybe I can fit one more on here. There. Okay, I think that's good. We'll just peel these off. Okay. We need sunshine here in Vancouver. We're not getting it for a whole week, so no point in being sad. My friend Patsy, who lives in Minnesota, it was 20 degrees. Well, I'm going by Fahrenheit here. So 20 degrees, and then the next day it was 80. And I think it snowed last night. So they have spring that's like this, I think. Okay, so that's what we've got so far. Sending. What are we sending? Let's send some sunshine. Grab my new piece of basic black. I'm going to take my embossing buddy and I'm going to just give it a really good going over because on black, sometimes things stick more. I'm going to use our Versamark and we're going to use the word. Look at the stamp set. Let me bring up the pin for you. You've lost the eye too many times. Yeah, me too. Okay, so we got sending, love and big hugs, sending a card to say hello, sending a note of thanks. So we got everything, right? So sending sunshine to brighten your day, I thought would be nice, right? I'm going to use the sunshine to brighten your day. And here it is my Versamark and my stamp. It's a very long stamp. Okay. And you know what? I'm not sure I think it's okay. This is because I'm not sure how straight it is. I think it's pretty good. I'm just going to add some, let me get this straight, and then I'm going to tell you how as a way to check if something is straight. Usually. I hope it's going to be a tip for you guys. Just going to take that off. I'm going to add a little bit to my S. And that looks pretty good. Whoop, my Y. Talking about this yesterday, I was teaching a class, and some people like to dump their embossing powder on, like me. I'm a dumper. But there are also dippers. My sister Ellie's a dipper, and a lot of people are. So they get a plastic little container, and they put their embossing powder in, and then they dip it in. I just dump. That's the way I was taught, and that's the way I kind of do it. Okay, let's heat set this before anything bad happens. Okay. We just wait for that to start. As we know, we just have to get our heat tool heated up and then it takes off like a bandit. But getting it started is just that enough heat. And I think we're going now. There we go. And you can see, hopefully, that it turns from that dull, flat powder into that raised, glossy finish. Okay. There you go. One of the first things I learned or saw demonstrated to me, probably by my sister Mo, was embossing. And do you remember back to when you saw that for the first time? Did you go like me? I went, oh, so cool, especially for Christmas cards and things, right? With gold and silver. And then I just celebrated my 21st, 2-1, can't believe it, anniversary as a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I'm just getting rid of my junk here. And I probably, for the first 5 years, I embossed like crazy. Then I didn't for 10. And now I emboss everything. I'm like, love embossing. So if you don't have embossing or you don't like to do it, you could just stamp in black or any other color on a piece of white or any other color you want to stamp on and not have this, okay? So don't feel like you have to emboss if you don't have all the pieces. Now, one of the dies from the Sending Dies that matches that Sending Smiles stamp set is this long one that can cut out these long words, okay? Now I'm going to use a piece of repositionable tape just to hold it in place, because when you emboss a piece of paper, I don't know if you find this or not, but sometimes it warps the paper, and I don't really have time to wait for it to decide to flatten back out. So I'm going to hold my die in place with tape. There we go. Okay. Bring in that embossing, or not embossing, our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, our mini. Here we go. And gosh, I wonder if I lost. I just looked at my screen and it kind of had cut out. Hopefully it didn't. I was having problems with my phone today, so hopefully I didn't just cut out. Thanks, Valerie. I can't believe it. My sister Mo is 21 years too. She's on our call today. I don't know, Mo. 21 years. Did we think we'd be doing this for 21 years? I don't know. We've had a lot of adventures in 21 years. And then my sister Ellie is a demonstrator, and she joined, I think, originally to come to convention with us, and then, like everything, we hooked her, and she became part of our cult. Okay, so let me glue this on before we go any further. Glue that on. Remember, we started with that basic white card. There we go. All right, we've got our sending, and I think we should pop this up. Again, I'm going to use the minis. Now, this is already popped up, right? And so I want to kind of do this. So I'm looking, and it looks like what I'm going to do is put some dots here in the middle, because there is no pop up here. This is popped up, this is popped up. So I want to just glue it to that. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue to the end here, a little bit of glue to the end here, and it should catch the cloud and the word. And then the pop-up is just to raise this to the same height as the items that are already popped up. Okay, here we go. So that's what we've got so far. And then I added some good old rhinestones. You know, you can't go wrong with rhinestones. You really can't. Grab yourself some rhinestones. You can color rhinestones. Did you know that with our blends? Yeah. Yes, you can. That, and maybe, I think I'll use all three big. Sometimes I use some big and some small, right? But let's just do that. Okay, move all this stuff out of the way. There's our card. Sending sunshine to brighten your day. All righty. Now, I was going to show you a trick. You know, I was saying, oh, I hope that is straight, but it actually was. And I was going to show you that if you lay this on the words, you can make it straight. But I guess to fit it onto the case, these are actually longer than these words. But inside the case, we've got the words. Now, the problem will be that it's going to be the wrong way. So it's not going to really help us. So I would just use, instead, if you've got a large, I have grid sheet somewhere. Here it is. Let me grab a grid sheet. I'll show you what I mean. Sometimes you can use the case because the words actually fit. And then you would, I'll just show you what I mean. Then you would lay down your case and let's pretend this fits, and you would make sure it's straight, and then you could go in with your block. Okay, but we don't have that option. So we're going to just take a grid sheet, and then I just lay this down this way. Make sure that that's straight. I use the lines, right? Then I grab my acrylic block and pick up my stamp, and now I know it's straight. Okay. Sometimes you can do it if you're really good with just your eye, but again, we won't go into the eye, but I only have like one good eye. Okay. Okay, so that's today's card. So I hope it brings some sunshine and brightens your day. Let me tell you about a few other things that are going on. I am offering a class using the Lighting the Way bundle. Now, this is again another bundle that is currently in the mini catalog, and it is a bundled price, so it's 10% off if when you buy the dies and the stamps together. But it's carrying forward to the new catalog, but it'll be broken apart and you'll pay full price for both. So you want to save, I think it's like $7. You want to save some money, right? So this card I received from one of my team, and it was just a card that she just sent me just to brighten my day. And I just thought it was really gorgeous. So here's Marjorie's card. Love it. And then I've got another one here using the Lighting the Way. Look at these little, now I call these fireflies, but I understand that some people call them lightning bugs, which kind of makes sense because they capture them in jars and it lights up, right? But I always called them fireflies as a kid. And then this stamp here is from Hydrangea Haven, and it's retiring. So, but look at how, I got this in a swap, and look how it's been used. My friend Leanne made this card. I love the way she's used the Winkestella. And then this is another card I got using that in another swap. Look at that. Isn't that fantastic? Look at the little wings. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. So cute. Okay, so here's the actual stamp, and we've got the dies. So that class is on May the 13th. The link is in, when I finish this video, you'll see the link for all my classes. Check it out. This class is $45, and we're going to create 4 cards. But you're going to receive the stamp set as part of your class fee. So it's really like $5 for the class, which is really just the mailing. So if you already own it, don't worry, that's okay. You can substitute and pick a different stamp and still be able to join the class and use. And if you live in the US, you can still join it. I can't send you any of the product, but you can purchase the PDF, and then you can join us at our virtual class on May the 13th. Okay, so that's a class that's coming up. Now, I'm also offering, for the first time in 3 years, my partner and I, Ange McKay, are going to be doing an annual catalog launch party. We're going to do one online, so there's an option if you don't live in the Lower Mainland of Vancouver. But if you do and you're wanting to get together and stamp, join us. So that's June 10th for the live and June 17th for the virtual. And all the signups, or the links for the signups, are there. Okay, let me just put that down. Let me come over here and see what we've got going. Yeah, thanks, Keisha. I've never used it. I've had it. I thought, gosh, I better use that. I'm happy to see it's not retiring. Hi, Judy. Oh, you're finally warm in Alberta and you can weed your mom's flower bed. Woohoo! Leave the dandelions for the bees. I know it's really hard because it goes against our... I told you my neighbor's daughter has 3 hives, and she's also got hives all over our city that she manages. And I just love to see her little bumblebees, honeybees coming. Of course, then we get honey too, which is nice. But they thrive on the dandelions at this time of year, or as they're coming out. And I know it's so tempting to cut our grass, but we don't until they have another food source. So I'm just gonna do a shout out to the bees. Okay, anybody else got anything else they want to say? No? Okay. Well, thanks you guys for joining me. I really appreciate it. I'll see you again on Wednesday at 3 p.m. Yes, Wednesday at 3 p.m. Do check out my classes at that link and hope to see you virtually or in person. So have a great day. I hope you get some stamping done. Bye for now.